Greetings, every people. It's your cult of personality here. ToonKritic's name.
Yes, who's back again.
Shut!
Yes, it's back.
It's me!
Okay. Well, everybody, before we get this started, I know she's been away for a while, but let's everybody welcome back to Roundtable, the one and only Kefram.
Blissy.
Hey, Blissy! Yay, Blissy!
Hey, Blissy, how you doing?
Yes,
Blissy.
we are happy.
Hi, I'm Lightning Bliss. Rainbows, rainbows, rainbows. I'm so glad to be
Hi,
back.
I'm Kefram, and I am a
Kefram, stop
total
being a
diva.
Blissy.
I always have to interrupt this podcast. Like, oh my god.
Shut up, Jesus. Anyways, welcome back to Roundtable is Magic. Totally not in the future where we haven't skipped an episode. Nope, that didn't happen. Nope, no sir. No sir. So...
You're setting yourself up.
Wait, what didn't happen?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even know what we're talking about. Anyways, welcome back. We're here to do stuff. We review the show. You know us, and if you don't, well, here's a little refresher. We got golden facts.
Hi.
Are you?
You said my name as soon as a burp was coming up.
Oh
You
my
didn't plan
god!
it. It was random. Well, now it's not as good.
Morty.
I thought you planned it.
Yeah, we are of course Kefram, our favorite Kefram.
I'm the only Kefram, and I'm glad to be back.
We have.
Okay,
the
you know
British...
what?
What?
Sorry, go ahead.
Nah, I'll just go.
No,
we
I was
have...
gonna say somebody draw Keyframe as Tigger now.
What?
Great thing about keyframes is
Wonderful
that
thing about
I'm
Tigger's
the only one.
Arrgh.
You'd be surprised how many animators have to deal with millions of keyframes.
We have. We have British Ninja.
Changeling all makes the same. Changeling.
We have Voice of Reason.
I'm just here because I was told to.
Okay.
Where's my paycheck?
We have Lightning Bliss.
They are the pony of rainbows.
And
What?
I just want to say it's going to be a great honor to welcome back to the show. Please, everybody, welcome back Robin0928.
Greetings.
Oh my god!
Small green pone. I do the thing. Thank you. Thank you.
This is actually Buggle to Chuggle.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm the token changeling.
We have many changelings in our community and figured
What did
because...
I say about impostering my little green bro, Robin? You
I
stop
am the
that
small
now.
yellow pone,
This
Robin. Hello.
wasn't his fault. Zach kind of pulled him out on this one.
We talked about this earlier.
We kind of did. So yes, you know him from a few of my streams. This is ChuggleDBugl. He's a pretty swell changeling dude. And we are here to talk about today's episode, which is To Change a Changeling. It is a changeling episode, if you did not know.
No.
What was your first guess?
I thought it was about dragons.
This episode, from what I've gathered, has seemed to spark up a lot of mixed opinions. Specifically, people who have been against Starlight and wanting to use an episode to say, "Ha! Starlight is wrong!" But we'll get to that when we get to that. So who wants to kick this off?
Are we doing positives or negs?
Let's start with positives. We did negatives last time.
Okay. I'll start off, I suppose.
Alright.
Now, I'm going to keep it nice and simple because there's a big political interpretation you could get into, but I'm personally not going to get into that. I'll save that for someone else. I'm going to talk about Thorax and why he's so much better than Alicorn Princess Twilight Sparkle.
Oh boy.
I
Here
bet
we
you're
go.
gonna steal this from somebody I know. Go ahead.
Probably. I love what the show is doing with Thorax. I love that... Because here's the thing. When Twilight became a princess, a lot of us wondered, oh, what kind of stuff is she going to get to do as a princess? What kind of stuff is she going to make choices for her kingdom and stuff like that? And we never really got into that. She was just kind of a chick with wings now. But yeah, with Thorax, we're actually having to see him make royal decisions, tough decisions with his brother and with his kingdom and with his hive. And that's interesting. I love that. That's so cool. I want to see more of my buggy bro. I've grown to like him now. And I love how... Even with the whole political, the reformed changelings represent a left side and this guy represents a right side. Thorax is the only guy who's like, guys, screw the sides. He's just my brother. Let's love and just try and get along, okay? And that's what I love about Thorax. He's much better than Twilight Sparkle. And in fact, you might as well just remove Twilight from the show, to be honest. She serves nothing anymore.
Oh, jeez.
You're that one guy from Fame and Misfortune. But
Yeah.
Preach it, Ninja. Preach it.
Totally. Yes, you
No,
can buy
totally,
my book.
totally disagree.
You can buy my book, Why Twilight is Awful, at patreon.com/never, and
No.
I will pass it on to Blissy.
I don't care what anybody says. I like the designs of the Changelings. I like them. I really, really do. They definitely desaturated them down a bit. That was a plus. But I also like that there are these little details that you can go into now. Like they all have that very same trait, which is to be able to change their forms. That's good. But here's another interesting part, and if not everybody was paying attention, there are different variations of them. I'm not talking about Thorax or his brother. I'm talking about there are some changelings that have tails and wings. There are some that have tails, wings, and horns. There are some that have horns but no wings or tail. And then there are some that have no horn, no tail, or wings, and they're like little beetle versions of themselves.
Big,
and I like that
bad
because
Beetleborgs. Sorry.
I like that there are these little similarities that make them a little more different and individual, and obviously they have different color schemes going on for them now. And I mean, there are even some that would be totally green but have red beetle covers.
Red and black Beetle OC.
No.
Black and red Beetle OC.
Sorry.
I don't. It's okay. I really do enjoy the colors of them. If anything, I've definitely grown for Thorax's color scheme, and then of course his brother. When his brother evolves, I'm like, I love this style. This screams guard changeling, and it looks epic. It's like it's not over the top, but it's different. It's distinguished. It's slightly intimidating. You know he is a changeling of authority, but you know he's a good guy too at the same time. It's like, yes, this is a great design for his brother. Thank you.
Bliss,
yes.
do you recall like when this episode aired? Like Silver Knight was in our group was just going crazy over like this is my new husband. Like he brought art out of his OC with pharynx like 30 minutes after the episode was
What'd
done.
you
He's just
change
like
the
yes.
domain name to? What was it?
Thorax. Oh
It
my
was
gosh.
something. I don't quite
It was
remember.
something I want to
Aren't
bleep
they-
him dead.
Aren't they all technically brothers? And I'll get into that later.
Oh god.
Yeah, I don't really want to touch that. And it clearly sounds like they still have podlings too, or so I don't know how that works. But
They don't explain.
the point is that I love the new designs. I love the fact that Thorax is still playing up to his role even when he changes. It's still something that resembles a changeling guard or defender. And I'm like, okay, that means there's going to be more changelings like this. This is great. Where the flop are Twilight's guards?
She's too OP. She doesn't need them.
Yeah, oh my god, she does too! Ah! I don't understand it! No, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I want the show to address this. Candlerod has guards. Crystal Empire has guards. Changelings are starting to get guards now. Where the flop are Twilight's guards?
Oh, they're her best
You
friends,
see-
don't you know?
They tried. No, she tried hiring
Pick,
some
find the only guard
guards.
you need.
She tried hiring some guards, but they were gone in a flash.
Oh my god, you know what? You know what?
Ninja!
I am okay, you know what? I am
I
dreading.
just now figured it out.
I am dreading what I am about to say here. They might push Flash Sentry over to be her first guard.
And the fandom will rejoice and tear itself apart simultaneously.
No,
Yep.
I
No, they'll say,
Like,
yeah,
what's
alright,
central?
whatever.
I
I'm
think
just
we-
gonna
That's
pass it
puppets.
on.
That's
Well, here's the thing. Like, back in the day, like, it was a controversial thing, you know, Princess Twilight Sparkle. I think the fandom was more unanimously against Flash Sentry.
Nowadays,
Like,
it's not
I-
as
I-
bad.
I don't remember
Yeah.
anyone liking Flash Sentry at all. Like, they could all agree he was kind of just a Chad.
at
I like
the beginning.
Flash
At the beginning, the first one.
Wait, hang on a sec. What was that, Key?
You got better.
I said I've liked Flash since the beginning.
Aw, you were wrong.
Shut up, Ninja. Bliss, do you want to
Sorry.
pass it to Key?
Yeah, I'll pass it the key. I'm done.
Okay, I actually my positive on this episode is going to go a bit deep. Because this is actually one of my favorite episodes of the season in a while. All the other episodes have been good, but they haven't really resonated with me. I think what I like about this episode is what a lot of people are trying to use to point at Starlight and be like, haha, you're a freaking hypocrite. And that's dealing with the concept of if someone is a lost cause. And a lot of people are pointing to Starlight and being like, oh, why is she, of all people, saying this? You know, she was considered a lost cause and stuff. And I want to explain my point of view from someone who is counted as a lost cause. When you get out of being a lost cause, when someone finds you and someone helps you, they give you that chance, and you grow as a person, you be a better person. The last thing you want is to experience that again. Or being near someone who was like who you were. Basically being in the other side of the equation. Sorry, I haven't been articulating my thoughts that well, so bear with me.
That's okay.
I think what makes this so good is Starlight had to face a conflict that I really wanted her to face. Someone like her. And because everyone's like, oh, Starlight's becoming the new Fluttershy. She keeps learning the same lesson over and over again. And I'm like, well, this is the new conflict. And I can see why she would go to the thing of this person is a lost cause. Because she's never had to get someone out of the lost cause thing. She doesn't want to be on that other side. Heck, I mean, they called her out on the episode saying, yeah, this is your fault. And I like that. And I guess my main thing that I like about the episode is that it presents that at the end of the day, because this is my personal belief too, I personally believe no one is a lost cause, and I like that this episode brought it up. People may be different from you, they may be abrasive, they may be hard to change, because the only person who can make that person change is themselves. But that doesn't mean they're a lost cause because you can't change them. Because at the end of the day, Pharynx no one changed Pharynx. Pharynx changed himself. Mm-hmm. And that's something I like. And a lot of people will disagree with me. A lot of people will always have the firm belief that, yeah, there are lost causes in the world. People never change, all this stuff. But I think this episode actually showed really well the whole thing of if someone needs to change, the person who needs to change first is themselves. And I like that. And I liked how Starlight was presented in the episode too and everything. So
yeah, I don't have a
Glim Glam and the Zim Zam.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have a problem with how Starlight approached the situation, especially when, like, all she had was the context of what was happening in front of her. She didn't have any background story on this person. So naturally, she kind of went to the conclusion that, yeah, maybe he is a lost cause, and maybe I just need to be the one to tell Thorax that. But before she even does, he explains a past piece of information, and that was enough to make her rethink things. I don't think she was in the wrong to assume that, because let's be honest, we all assume that of somebody at some point.
Yeah, and in general, I think it's a great thing to have at some points, and I think this is a great starting point, and I hope they do this future times in the show, where Starlight questions her teachings. I think that's a good thing, and I hope that in the future when they do this, it's not always going to be, oh no, Twilight's teachings are always right. No, sometimes Starlight will see flaws in Twilight's teachings, and sometimes she will see that, no, Twilight actually kind of is right. I mean, we did kind of get that with a royal problem, because if she went Twilight's way, well, nothing would have gotten done.
Exactly.
But yeah, I really like how this episode handled Twilight and the whole concept of changing someone. I think this did it so much better than what's the Spike Thorax episode? What's the name of that?
Times Your Changeling.
Yeah,
I mean, because that one I feel like it went too quickly, but that was because it was handling too big of a subject of getting the entire population to
Through song.
to do that. But but this one, it's more condensed into one person, and the people who know this person. So it's not like a bunch of strangers. It's the colony, and the colony knows Pharynx. So, yeah, I really like it. This is, to me, a spiritual successor to that episode, and I think it improved upon it very well. And that's all my thoughts, and I'm going to pass it off to Voice.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yes.
Well, actually, I want to talk a little bit more about Pharynx, at least with his resolution.
Oh crap! You're taking my point.
That's why I have 3.
No. Well, no. I won't. No.
I was going to talk about Pharynx as a whole, but you're going to talk about like the climax of it. So
more in the sense of Pharynx himself, or at least in his character. The way I was looking at his character throughout the whole episode, I was thinking, this guy, this guy's a complete a-hole. And he prefers the more gruff and tough ways of when he was with when he was with Chrysalis. Now I'm thinking, the guy's still evil. But the more I started to watch the episode, I realized it's not the fact that it's not. I was actually looking a lot differently, and after watching a second time, it's more. It's not that he's like evil, but he has this hive mentality in quotations, that he cares of the well-being of the hive. Like, even though he is he's technically I try to put it more on a D&D alignment chart. He is even though he's more I guess nowadays
he's
I think
not
it's like
evil.
No, he's not. He's more lawful neutral.
Yeah, he's lawful neutral. He is very, protective of the thing, and like he's very conservative.
Yes,
in the sense
he's a traditionalist, but with good intentions behind that.
And he's completely right, and all of the other changelings were stupid, and I hated them, and I'll get to that in a minute.
I have choice words for the hive.
But
yeah,
me
too.
It's more on the realizing that the guy does care for the hive, and even though in the young, like the little larva scene where the parent were Thorax predicted the future. Like if you look closely, he has. If you look close at the two dolls he has, it's a miniature of Spike and Ember in the armor from Gauntlet of Fire. If you look,
that's cool.
Really
Little bit of time travel.
It's fun. It's fine.
But yeah, the moment that he does in fact care for the brother, but also more on the lines of he cares for the entire well-being of the hive. And you can see that with the dynamics of how they deal with the problem. While Thorax was going for more like a diversion thing with the moleworth, which I didn't realize. What the heck is a moleworth? Oh, it's a giant mole. Okay.
That was anticlimactic.
Thorax went head on with it. It's a more like rough combat situation.
Pharynx,
but again,
not Thorax.
Yeah, sorry, Pharynx. Sorry. But that being said, I really admired that after a second watch, Thorax, he's not completely bad. It's just he has to like adjust his way. He just the way he's thinking, which that's sort of the way of changing the changeling, as it were. So yes, I'll pass it to Toon then.
Okay, so I just want to point out One quick thing before I actually get into my point. I want to quickly give a quick shout out to Rainbow Dash Spartan of Fire Team Harmony for he put out a tweet a while ago that was taking a few screenshots from Military Brony's Facebook page that was talking more so about Pharynx and comparing him to how old, I think, what was the term? I think it was how getting out of the military and adjusting to a normal lifestyle, that sort of thing. People go to my Twitter, they'll see that they'll see the retweet for it. But I liked that they put, in a sense, even though he's a good guy, they've managed to put Pharynx into a sympathetic bad guy role, even though he's clearly not. But the episode portrays him like that, and I feel really bad for him. I like that they actually put a sympathetic push for him, because I thought in this episode, oh, he's just going to be a grump the entire time. No, he actually has a little bit more depth to him. I think that's very important to have that with Pharynx. It's really fun to see how the Hive is now adjusting to new ways, but Pharynx is like, no, we gotta go back to the old ways in case of an attack. And he has a perfectly good point, because Chrysalis could show up at any point and steamroll over them because they're now a peace-loving kind. So, I don't blame Pharynx. It's sort of the... In a weird way, it's kind of like when I look at Thorax and Pharynx, I see a little bit of the Captain America, Iron Man, Civil War argument going on between them. Who's really right? And that's pretty deep, I think, for a kid's show. I like that we're actually kind of doing that. There's a little bit more depth to it. That being said,
there's more of a moral gray area.
Yes, that's
it's a moral
important.
gray area where both are right in their own different ways.
Exactly.
Are you saying that art's too crazy?
Oh God.
And Chuggle's internet is breaking up again. It broke up during the pre-show.
Chuggle, would you mind repeating that? Up to Buggle. No, we lost. Continue with your point. Continue with your
Basically,
point.
Pharynx is my new favorite character. I love him. He's edgy. He's amazing. He's beautiful. I love him.
I'll just add. I actually, as much as I don't don't really like the reform designs, Pharynx's design actually works really well for his character.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if I can say, I really like Pharynx's reformed design, because this was my whole point of contention with the reformed changeling designs. I personally really like Pharynx because he is a mix between the old colors and new colors. He's darker, but it's still a beautiful elegance. That's what I wish was more with all the rest of the changelings, instead of them all being pastel. I get the story reason-wise, because they're all peace-loving and safe-spacing, but like I really think Pharynx is Pharynx is the best iteration
How hot
of
Pharynx
reform designs.
Yeah.
is that we're talking about?
Chuckle, no.
And Chuggle's internet derps again. Put a counter for every time we can't understand Chuckle.
Yeah.
Chuckle should just type in the chat, and then one of us can read for him.
I was gonna,
Okay, Chuggle says that British Ninja is super right, and everyone should go subscribe to British Ninja. That's what he put. That's what he put.
Oh, no, he's restarting his computer right now.
That too,
okay.
but he also put mostly the British Ninja.
Okay.
All right.
Who can I pass it to? Who have I not
Well,
passed it
Chuggle was last, so maybe.
Golden.
to? Okay, yeah, I will pass it to the Golden Facts.
All right, so a lot of people have said a lot about a couple of things. I'm going to kind of bounce on a thing or two. The first thing I want to... It's two things about... Well, there's a lot of things that I kind of want to bounce around, but I only have to pick one thing. But I actually want to refer to something a little differently about the character Pharynx in two perspectives. One of which is that... Oh, great, I just had a brain fart.
That's okay.
See, this is why you poop before the podcast.
Shut up! Oh, God.
Golly.
Jokes are we going to get?
A lot. Just go.
Okay. One of which, and this is it. I know this is going to sound like a stretch, but you know that there's that one character, as you said before, that one character who comes off a bit unlikable, but there's something about that character that comes across as something much more to the idea. And I like that this episode commentates on the whole term "lost cause." Considering that it's those type of characters, I'm just gonna say it right now. This was Diamond Tiara's character arc done right.
Oh.
Because focused on the negative traits of what we don't like about the person, but they focused on the positive elements in that he does have some good intentions, but his attitude is a problem. And this is handled much more realistically than Diamond's character ever was from Crusaders and the previous seasons.
Mm.
The other thing, now that I think about it, Pharynx very much reminds me of my brother.
Brian?
Yeah. I don't want to... See, here's the thing. I've said a lot of negative things about him in the past podcasts, but he does not have real ill intention. It's just that sometimes, when it comes to, brotherhood and, each siblings, there are times when we do get at each other's throats, and, there's just some, ugly situations between one another. But in this one, I definitely see Pharynx as my older brother because he likes to, get into a lot of more hardcore material. He likes to play Halo. He likes playing Gears of War. Now, I like playing Gears of War with him, or I used to. I haven't been able to, get into the modern games. But as kids, I was more into Disney. I was more into playing with toys based on various cartoons, whereas my brother liked having Star Wars toys, especially the Empire. Like, he would have models of like X-Wing, well, not the X-Wing, but a TIE fighter and a lot of different models. And he was more into, the villain side of characters. He really liked Boba Fett. So there's a dramatic difference between the two of us. Nowadays, he plays like more of the adult-oriented games, but he respects the fact that I like playing Nintendo games. There's a huge contrast. He's much more on the rough end. He likes to roughhouse. That's what he used to like doing as kids. And he would always try to like toughen me up with a lot of things, a lot of which didn't work well, but he had good intention. And that's what I see Pharynx as.
Okay, that seems fair. Did the show ever mention if Pharynx is the younger or older brother?
Theryx is the older brother.
I'm not sure.
No,
Wait,
I heard
what?
specifically Theryx is the older brother.
That explains
Okay,
it.
this is even more relatable to my brother.
It actually just makes
Because,
sense, too.
Yeah. That the one brother who just likes to, roughhousing, just be more aggressive. And I think Chuggle is back.
You guys got my message about how British Ninja's perfect, right?
Yes.
I
Okay,
wasn't lying.
okay. Just making sure.
All right, so now that you're back, I'm going to pass it on to you. Finger
Coolio.
guns.
What'd you talk about? Just because I missed that. Just want to make sure I don't copy.
I was talking about...
What you talk about, Willis?
That probably didn't do it anyway. I'll go with my backup topic just in case. One thing I freaking loved was all the different things the Changelings turned into. I enjoyed that. A whole lot. Freaking Thorax being a flamingo. Are we gonna see more flamingos now? Is that canon?
That means Mexico
crazy...
is canon somewhere. There's ponies wearing sombreros and ponchos and all this other stuff.
But then the crazy spider beast Pharynx turned into as kids. Like, what? Where's that?
I can make a really bad joke.
Now and then the Rock, the glorious Rock that Pharynx.
I still call
turned into.
bullcrap on that.
You can call it all you want. It was great.
I can't wait to hear Voice's thing on that.
No, I'm actually not complaining about that though.
What do you call bullcrap on it though?
Because I know this is extra canon, but mimics are the only creatures in Equestria that can turn into other objects outside of they can't transform into ponies. They can turn into other objects.
Yeah, they're objects. Changelings are organic, is what it is.
Did you just say mimics are canon?
Yeah.
Yeah, mimics are canon.
Oh god, I'm scared.
Don't worry, they're nice mimics. In MLP, mimics are actually kind of cute and nice.
They turn.
That is. I'm sorry. After Dark Souls, I have never heard of a cute mimic.
Never again. Never again.
But that's all I want to say. What was it? The was it Shakespeare in the Park with the changelings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put on Twitter, so I put this on Twitter. So I guess King Lear and Julius Caesar are not part of that for obvious reasons.
Ooh. The history nerds will get that one.
No, the Shakespeare nerds will get out of that.
Just the nerds. The nerds will get
just
that.
nerds in general, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, it's a short, simple one, but I just loved it.
Okay, so since
right.
you're the last, you want to do the negative as well that you didn't like?
Yep, and then Ninja almost stole this one from me. How dare he, even though you're so perfect, Ninja. But anyway, why does it matter that Pharynx is his brother? They're bugs. They're all related. We saw that.
What makes him special enough to turn into a super changeling?
Like, why is he the special one? I don't get it. Like, because we all saw them as babies in freaking Chrysalis's egg chamber.
Well, I mean, I argue this might be based off their own personalities because, I mean, Thorax clearly
Okay, why did Thorax make a big deal that it was his brother? Like, that was my brother! Okay, you're all
because they were very close podmates, I guess, is the thing. And probably he was the only one that stood up for him against the other changelings when they were younger. That's what I go with. And the fact that Thorax was very passionate about being a defender and a fighter for the Hive, that stood out very passionately amongst him. Who's to say he won't be the only one?
I'd say Bonds.
I was going to say, surely they all should be very passionate and defensive about the Hive, considering that's how they were until, they...
I think some were... No, I argued that some just cared about eating and surviving.
Was there anything else you wanted to add, Chuggle?
I think throughout the entire episode, that was just bothering me of how big of a deal they made it. 'Cause I'm like, does no one else really care? Isn't Pharynx your brother too? Anyone? No? Okay.
All right.
Just kind of bothered.
All right.
Move back.
Going back in reverse, I believe we're going back to facts.
Okay, so let's put aside Pharynx for a bit. The thing that actually does bother me to an extent, I am actually glad to see that, the changeling culture has turned into, being much happier and much more welcoming. But how much are they willing to, not willing, but how good are they if, let's say, their territory gets invaded? Are they going to be defensive? Are they going to be tough? Are they going to be able to take offense to anything? And this is something that I can kind of agree with Pharynx on, and that they're going too much into the whole love thing, or love and peace and everything. Because there is going to be, there could be an attack. There could be something to prepare for. And it just didn't, it's not showing a bad image to the changeling culture in what they're changing into. Change. Oh my god, that's going to be so abused here. But there has to be a balance. And it seemed they're a little too much on trying to be too far in the safe zone. I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks that way.
No, I'm kind of on that.
Yeah.
I don't know, honestly.
That's kind of different about it.
Yeah. So, I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to...
CarToonZ, I guess.
I'm sorry?
No, Toon's up next, although it's probably going to be CarToonZ.
Okay, that's right, Toon. That's right, Toon, you're next.
My Little Pony, friendship is magic. We've had a good relationship for a while. Everything's been pretty chill. Things have kind of mellowed out for a while, but when Season 7 came around, you pulled over some new tricks that I was not expecting. You began to get very meta, most like other shows that I see today that are trying to be meta and self-aware. I get it. That's really cool. But I'm on to you right now. I know what you're trying to do. You think you pulled the wool over me on this one. 2 words. Feelings forum. You have essentially... Don't think you can pull the wool over my eyes with this feelings forum stuff. You have created Tumblr for the changelings.
Oh, God!
I will back this up. I don't know if I'm a blue changeling or a green changeling. Oh, that's fine. There's plenty of colors to choose from. I know what you're on to. You can't fool me. This is Tumblr. You've made Tumblr.
How many?
You've made Tumblr and My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I've not seen anything this meta since Gumball is doing social justice warrior stuff right now. What is going on? What is going on in today's animation industry?
He's not.
I've seen the clip. I cringe.
It's amazing.
I'm sorry. I can't stand Gumball.
Boo. Get more fun, Colby.
Oh, I'm wrong for disliking something? What have you been saying?
You crossed a line, My Little Pony. You crossed a line today. I know what you're onto. If you go even further than that, I'm on to you. I have a conspiracy theory wall right up here that I'm looking at right now.
So wait. So does that mean like the second someone like one of the changelings say they're triggered, all of a sudden everything goes to hell?
Yep.
They didn't even need to say that. They say
How many colors of Changeling are there?
They say that they have a safe space. A safe space.
Hey, they have to talk about their feelings. How else would they do it?
If I see any little bit of social justice warriorness in My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, I'm out. There's the door.
Soups. My name's too high.
So, guys, come to Cider Fest where CarToonZ is going to be hosting his feelings forum.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going back to whoever was before me.
Oh, that's great.
CarToonZ, honey, sweetie, babu.
Hey, Derek.
Yes. This is your friendly neighborhood Dirk the table interjecting. CarToonZ, honey, sweetheart. There are much better things to get pissed off about.
Oh, you
Yes,
are one.
and I have one of them.
Yeah, like Starlight Glimmer, Uncle Songhorse.
Wait, no.
That's not actually what pissed me off about this episode.
No.
What pissed you off
I-
about the episode, Derek?
I have one that may satisfy you. That may satisfy you, Derek. And I'm actually okay with Starlight being in this.
Everyone.
Oh, hold on. What were you saying, voice?
Well, it's my turn right now. But I'm actually okay with Starlight being in this, especially with her I actually kind of find it weird that the whole speech of "you have the freedom to choose" thing is coming from Starlight. I kind of find that ironic. But no, why the heck was Trixie here?
Oh boy.
You stole my point. Why?
And that's why I didn't say that point.
Why the heck was Trixie was pointless in this episode?
Not
Stole my
only
point.
pointless.
I hate you.
Oh my god, now that you mention it, she was such a backstabber.
She didn't do anything in this.
I thought that
You
was
act
hilarious.
surprised
I thought that
about
was,
that.
I thought that was amazing. I'm not gonna lie, I love
Alright,
Trixie
can I
this
just jump
episode.
in since he stole my point? Can I
Okay.
just jump in right along with voice?
Go ahead.
Voice, I cannot begin to explain how much I agree with you right now, and in the fact that I kind of had to stop at one point and throw a sock at my television and
A
shout,
sock.
"Why are you friends with her, Starlight? What a backstabbing jerk!"
Skipped a lot of
Thank
Trixie.
you.
I skipped a lot of it.
Why didn't I think of that one? Oh my
You know
god.
what the sad thing is, voice? I tried to
No, it's
rationalize.
even better. No, it's even what honestly, you could replace Spike with Trixie, and the effect would have been a lot better. Like the whole here it comes the sarcasm here it comes line that would fit Spike a lot better.
Would. Yes, it would. By God, yes, it would. Why did we not have Spike?
Because they're not BFFs.
Guys.
If I may quote, there are some people who have said this in the season 6 original Bronies Read by AC Racefest. If I may quote Black Griffin, Seth, why do you like her again?
And just like that, we're never getting featured in EQ again. Dead.
I just don't understand it. I mean, a part of me was thinking, okay, maybe she's going to be comic relief. Okay, I'm freaking hating her right now. She's not very funny. Okay, well, maybe she's going to help motivate Starlight to make the right call. No.
No, my favorite honestly there's one reaction I had. I posted this on Twitter where Trixie saying, "Oh, but who wouldn't want to marvel at the great and powerful Trixie? Yeah, replace Marvel with murder, and you got yourself a deal."
There you go.
Wait, you said we wouldn't be featured on EQD again. We were featured on EQD at all?
We were. Okay,
That's-
fun fact. We were actually featured on EQD on the front page, if I'm correct, when we did our interview with M.A. Larson.
Oh, we did?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
You guys are famous.
I
We're
thought
not.
only Silver Quill
Okay.
and DWK got an EQD. That's a shock.
The thing is, Starlight and Trixie, I know what they were trying to do. They were trying to play off this quirky friendship where, you know, one of them knows what's going on and the other thinks they know what they're doing, knows what's going on, and then they'll sell their friend under the bus on the last second, but it's okay because they're both friends. No, that's something me and ToonKritic can work with. We do this to each other all the time, and it's hilarious, and we both kid with each other all the time. I will throw Zach under the bus. He'll throw me under the bus.
I'll throw you under the bus, but you'll slide under it.
See, there it is. You're there.
To pop right back up.
So,
I'm like,
so that's the thing. So, what does that make us? Am I the Trixie to your Starlight?
Or on the your Starlight.
I think what you're saying is important there, though, Bliss, is like the tone is
Yeah.
important too. Like that was not a situation for shade.
Well, I'm not sure if it. And going
This
back
is
to
Voice's
me, like,
point,
it-
so.
Yeah, going back to me, like it's at this point where it's borderline toxic, like the relationship Trixie and Starlight have. Thank you.
Shut up, Derek.
No.
Oh my god. Oh, boys, yes, please continue. Yes.
No, actually, that was my point. Trixie
Oh, that
had no
was-
right
that-
to be in this episode.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just.
And,
No.
and also, Alabama's ranked #1 in the AP polls.
Okay.
Well then, I believe that's
Jack,
back to
stop
Key
it.
now.
I didn't like Trixie. Okay, there's my ending. I personally look. I'm just gonna say this. Overall, I like Trixie. Compared to a lot of people, I do like Trixie. She was just not written well in this episode.
Yes.
And I just don't.
When was she ever written well?
Shush.
I've liked Trixie.
Wear it back again.
To Wear Him Back Again, Magic Duel, and the beginning of All Bottled Up.
Yes.
Yeah. I personally just did not quite enjoy. Here's the thing. I wouldn't mind this Trixie if it was in a different episode, because I like the kind of sarcastic, bitchy friend trope. I think it can work well. This was just not the right episode for it. So there you go. Trixie can work well in some things if you give her a chance. There were too many characters in this episode to focus on. I feel like if you took Trixie out of the equation, we could have gotten more time to things that needed more time dedicated to them.
Yeah, that's like what I says. Tone is very important with that kind of sarcasm,
Mm.
like setting
Yeah.
and tone and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was me. Back to the person previous.
I think that was me.
Yep.
So you got our point out the way already.
I already kind of did, yeah, but I also want to come up with a fairly good example. I'm gonna take y'all back to the TF2. Hats off to you.
Mhm.
There was a scene there, and I want to point out that Keyframe and Silver Quill are very good friends. They really are. But when it comes to their OCs, it could be a mixed bag. So in that episode of Hats Off to You, I will save the lights. We have a confession to make. Yes. I talked Silver into taking the hat. Yes. She caused this whole ordeal. Yeah, you see? I got a laugh out of that. That's funny, because you know the chemistry between the two. You know Silver is a backstabbing karma genius mad bird. I don't know what he is.
He's a good bird.
He's a bird. It's funny. In previous episodes that Keyframe just mentioned, we had this nice setup of Trixie being a bit sarcastic, a little arrogant at times, but has a sympathetic side and is willing to protect her friend Trixie. Not Trixie, Starlight.
Trixie Trixie does protect Trixie because she cares mostly about herself. So.
Trixie.
Okay, point being, in this episode, all of that was thrown out the window. And she was just that asshole of a friend that, why are you friends with this person again? She's not done anything good to condemn, to commit to this friendship in this episode. There was nothing good about her. She willingly threw Starlight under the bus. She told her bad advice. She wasn't even funny! She was
Can I
not
propose
well.
something?
Keyframe hit the nail on the head. She was pointless, thank you boys. Spike was better choice.
You were saying, Fox. You got to say something?
Yeah. So this episode was about the commentary of whether or not somebody's a lost cause. Can we have an episode that's about whether or not Trixie can be a lost cause so that she can actually develop and be a better character?
Oof.
Nah, she's already a lost cause.
I think Trixie's a great character.
I want to give Trixie more of a character. I want to give her more of a chance, but it's very difficult.
I thought we were, and then this episode happened.
I'm going to respond back to what Will said. I used to think that Diamond Tiara was a lost cause until Crusaders. I still don't forgive Diamond, but you never know.
I personally think that no fictional character is a lost cause, because I would rather them get character whenever they get character than them not have character at all.
So what we're saying is make Trixie great again.
Oh, jeez.
Am I the only one who thinks that Trixie was just fine this episode?
Well,
Probably.
I'm curious. I'm
Yep.
curious to hear what you have to say.
Well, okay, so is it back to me?
I think so, yes. Right, Bliss?
Oh, okie dokie. So, yeah, I passed it off to Bliss. So, the thing that I really don't like about this episode is the quote-unquote reformed changelings. And especially how they tried to kind of say that they were in the right when they were just a bunch of douchebags who preached that they love and, they're all excluding and not excluding, inclusive and stuff like that. Except when you disagree with them, then they just hope you get exiled. Now, yes, what was his name? Pharynx?
Pharynx.
Pharynx.
Nothing GRG.
Pharynx.
Yeah,
Pharynx.
it's helpful to remember it has a PH at the beginning. Pharynx. There.
Pharynx was a douche with his attitude. He didn't like the change because he wanted to protect them from harm. And yes, people being overly liberal is dangerous. Just look at Sweden. But politics aside, what I dislike the most about this episode is that it treats peace and not being a pansy enough to defend yourself as mutually exclusive things. And this is especially, gosh, I'm messing my words today. Especially rich, because all of the nasty, and all of them were like nasty and angry as he was a year ago. You'd think they'd be a bit more sympathetic, understand where he's coming from, but nah, let's just banish him. He's a lost cause, isn't that right, Starlight? Gosh, this was just incredibly stupid and rich, considering that 9 times out of 10 in the show, like, the big way of solving the issue is with force, is with attacking, is with, blasting them with the elements of harmony or a rainbow power. It wasn't until Starlight Glimmer did they actually think, hey, let's try diplomacy to solve a problem and not just nuking them with rainbow magic. It is
diplomacy.
incredibly rich.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is very rich for this show to preach that, this is the only way it can happen, or at least to try and show that these changelings were in the right and that it's all. Basically, what I'm saying is that guy did absolutely nothing wrong. He was completely in the right, and he's the best character in the show. 10 out of 10, new waifu.
No, I totally agree. No, I agree with you, Ninja. The way they were behaving, I mean, it's like, have any of you, changelings, aside from Thorax, actually just stopped and listened to why is he so aggressive and grumpy in the first place? And it's like, oh, he wants to go back to the old ways.
He has valid points.
And I'm like, why do you think that is? And it's like, well, because he likes to be evil. No, it's because he is worried about your hive and defending it. The way you guys think about defending yourselves is to lead the danger away. And, well, what if you can't ever do that? What if there are circumstances come up where you can't use that tactic? What if the enemy will not turn away? And they're like, well, what enemies? Well, you had the mole. It's like, yeah. Well,
you have Chrysalis.
My God, you have Chrysalis. You're in Equestria. There's going to be magical foes popping up everywhere all the time. You need to be ready.
If I can interrupt real quick, though, I do want to point out that you guys are knowing him from the end of the episode. If you do, like, at the beginning, him punching holes in, taking their flowers down, and dumping paint on people is kind of a dick move.
Yeah.
No, he was a douche. He was a douche.
Go ahead,
like,
Ninja.
yeah, it's like I get it, but.
No, that was kind of my entire point, I suppose. If the Yak episode that we had was, like, kind of crapping over how stubborn and stupid Republicans can be, this is the episode that craps over how over-the-top and, sensitive liberals can be. So I guess it all comes around,
It's all political in the ponies.
Yeah, it is. I personally
Tumblr.
do not like...
Tumblr.
I personally do not like how they treated him. I get why they were upset. I get why they felt like their king wasn't taking this seriously. But again, you didn't give him a chance. You just assumed the worst of him and said, "Yep, let's banish him. I'm done dealing with this." I'm like, give him a chance first to explain themselves.
I don't think he could. I'll give the episode credit on that one. I don't think he understood his emotions well enough to like explain why he wanted to do the things he did.
Okay,
what I did love
did,
is that
he didn't share.
he left as soon as like he overheard the girls saying, "Hey, I think he's a lost cause." He left. He went and challenged the mole creature on his own. And then when his brother is like, "Oh, so you do care?" It's like, "No, I don't. I care about the hive. I care about you guys being safe. But I will go now because, you know, I don't have a place here. You guys suck."
I mean,
I'm going to go build my own hive with Blackjack.
where's the spin-off with him? I want to see just Pharynx. Where's this Pharynx show?
No, I want to see a spin-off of just Soup Pony or Soup Changeling.
Yes,
The Soup
yes, we have
Changeling-
not mentioned the Soup Changeling. The Soup Changeling was the funniest thing in this episode. I love it.
You know,
It's amazing. Give him a spinoff.
you know
No,
what's
it's
you know what's
cool.
great about Soup. Okay, now maybe I'm reading too much into Soup Pony here, but in an episode where the reformed changelings get so worked up over their problems, he is the perfect like allegory for that. Like he gets super worked up over his soup not being too hot, only to realize that if he just cools down a minute, so will the soup, and his problem is solved. You know, he's just like a perfect representation of my problems are so much bigger than they are, and then, you know, if he just takes a second, takes a step back and realizes, oh wait, with time and, you know, without freaking out, you know, things will work out.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
Soup
maybe-
Guy.
Is
So you
our
know
light
what?
in the dark.
Be
Yeah, also-
more like Soup Guy.
Yeah,
Yes.
also we should probably wrap up.
Yeah,
yes,
we should
are pretty much wrapped up. Okay, so 2 quick things. Key, it's been a while since you've been here, so if they've made it this far in the episode, what should they put down?
If you made it this far, you should put down.
I have one if she doesn't have one.
You should put down. Let me ask you, chat. Which changeling is your bae? What is your bae buggle?
Babe.
I'm right here, thank you. I know I'm the best, but yeah.
Oh, boy. Alright, I like that. And to do the real quick Roundtable meme face, get that out of the way. So the winner of this week's Roundtable meme face goes to this right here. Let me also get this to you guys. It's from Campfire Tales. I love this one. Where for? Oh crap, where is it? Where did I put it?
Wherefore art thou?
Wherefore?
It's time for another good idea.
It's time for another good idea, bad idea. This is from Haley Kometra, so congrats, you are the winner of this week's Roundtable meme face.
Woo!
Now,
Damn, I deprived you enough to win.
for you guys, we have a picture from this episode, which is right here. I know it's not much.
I kind
know-
of wanted it to be Soup Pony.
I did too. Trust me, I did too.
Also,
it's
if any of you guys put The Hills Have Eyes, that joke is copyrighted by
Yeah, we
British
already
Ninja.
did a lot.
So, as always, I will put this up on my Twitter. All you need to do is put a caption to this. Put your funniest or best caption you can. Tag it to me as hashtag Roundtable Meme Face, and we will pick a winner for the next episode. I think that about covers everything. So, Chuggle, thank you for coming out for this episode.
honor.
Yes, the chat lord now finally has a spot up here. We've had so many changelings. But we're going to get to our next episode, which we will divulge at a later time. But we're going to continue onwards doing what we do. And, yeah, I think that about takes care of everything. What?
But.
What?
But.
Okay, then. Thank you guys for turning out, and we'll see you on the next episode. Stay awesome.